How to increase your sales with AI. I'm John McGowan with Mathematical Software. Half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. This is a saying attributed to John Wanamaker, who founded the first department store in the United States in Philadelphia, expanding to a large national chain in the 19th century. Today, there's an ever-expanding plethora of advertising and marketing methods. Google Ads, Yelp, podcasts, TikTok, and many more, as well as methods like billboards that John Wanamaker used. The U.S. spends over $50 billion per year on online advertising, with an annual growth rate estimated at 12 to 15%. What if you could take the money wasted on bad advertising methods and spend it on the methods that work best? You could increase sales, cut costs, or both. We use advanced math to analyze sales and marketing data from your accounting system, determine what works and how well, and find the best mix of expenditures to increase sales or cut costs. We created a math recognition artificial intelligence, or AI, with a large database of known mathematics. A search engine for math that recognizes the probable math formulas for data, a difficult key task currently done by humans that is essential for a profitable analysis. A simple example is recognizing that your data follows the widely known bell curve. A good math formula is required to find the mix of expenditures that will increase sales or cut costs without expensive and time-consuming trial and error. The simulated data in this slide follows the less well-known double gamma function. A few highlights about me. I have a bachelor's degree in physics from the California Institute of Technology, better known as Caltech, where Richard Feynman taught. I went on to get a Ph.D. in particle physics from the University of Illinois at Urbana, working on projects at the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center, or SLAC, on Sand Hill Road in the hills behind Stanford. My doctoral dissertation was an analysis of data from an experiment at SLAC using maximum likelihood methods critical to the math recognition AI. I was a key contributor for CompCore Multimedia's Soft DVD, the first software DVD player. CompCore was a successful startup acquired by Zoran, which is now part of Qualcomm. I worked on related MPEG video technology for NASA after CompCore was acquired. Later, I worked on a confidential image processing project for HP Labs. I developed calibration software for the original Apple Pencil for the iPad Pro, as well as touch processing software for the iPad Mini. I developed AI keyboard software similar to Microsoft Swipe for Nod Labs, now Nod.ai, which was acquired by AMD recently for $100 million. How would you use our system? Give us your anonymized sales and advertising data, such as a spreadsheet file exported from your accounting system. We will use our math recognition AI to find a mathematical formula predicting your sales from your ad expenditures, showing how to increase sales and or cut costs. Start with raw data. Anonymize the data to protect your competitive sensitive information, customer and vendor names. Our system converts the sales and expenditure data to time series, averaging the sales over days or weeks. The math recognizer searches for a match between your data and the math in our database. This includes well-known math such as the bell curve and more advanced math known only to specialists. Here is a simple example. Once the recognizer finds a good match, it fits the mathematical formula precisely to your data using proven methods. Then, it finds the peak or peaks of the math to increase sales as shown here. The peak is where you want to be. What about real data? McDonald's is one of the largest companies in the world with over $23 billion in sales. McDonald's breaks down its sales and marketing methods into two broad categories in its annual reports: ad cooperatives, joint marketing with other companies such as Coca-Cola, and radio and television, which you've probably seen. The math recognition finds and fits a formula to the McDonald's data. Then it finds the mix of expenditures to increase sales if possible. This is the data from the annual reports and the U.S. Federal Reserve. The magenta line, the funny purple color, is the U.S. gross domestic product, or GDP, representing the overall state of the economy. The off-yellow line is the spending on the ad cooperatives from the annual reports. The red line is spending on radio and television advertising, which you have probably seen. The green plus signs are the sales data, the quarterly revenues from the annual reports. There is a spike in radio and television spending in about 2020. By eye, there's little or no boost in sales. What does the AI think? The AI recommends putting the entire budget in ad cooperatives to increase sales. The AI predicts an increase in sales, 8%, $1.9 billion. Is the prediction correct? Formulas can match historical data even perfectly, but fail to predict the future. Can we do a smaller test, a cheaper test, a lower risk test, and see if the formula is likely truly predictive? This plot shows the effect of a smaller test. On the left is the most recent ad expenditures and the current sales of about $23 billion, the vertical red line. At the right, at 100%, is the recommended optimized expenditures. That's everything, all the money spent on ad cooperatives, and increased sales of $25 billion, the vertical blue line. The dashed red and green lines show the 95% confidence limits from the errors on the fit. What does that mean? The black dots show the possible effect of the noise not in the formula, such as weather, on the revenues. Sales will vary for unknown reasons even if McDonald's does not change its advertising mix. We need to see an increase in sales larger than these limits to be 95% certain the formula is predictive. That test actually requires about 80% of the recommended change, the vertical green line, not a small test, so hundreds of millions of dollars. In reality, if we were analyzing McDonald's or your detailed sales data from their accounting system, we could design a smaller test, such as in several cities and neighborhoods around the world, rather than redirecting all 80% of McDonald's global radio and television advertising, which is in the ballpark of hundreds of millions of dollars. How does math recognition relate to the generative AI in the news today? Our core algorithms are not the compute-intensive, super expensive neural networks, also known as deep learning, in the news. The math recognition algorithms can be run on one or a few high-end gaming computers. The end result is not a multi-gigabyte formula with hundreds of billions or trillions of parameters. Rather, the math recognition, when it works, gives a simple formula expressed in standard mathematics with less than 100 parameters. These simple formulas are often explainable, not a black box. The parameters and terms in the mathematical formula often correspond directly to identifiable business processes that you know. For example, peaks like the bell curve may indicate over-advertising, where customers tire, perhaps permanently, of product if they consume it too much. You can kill the goose that lays the golden egg. The formula is repeatable with the same results each time within the precision of the computer hardware. unlike ChatGPT and many other AI programs in the news right now, and can often run on personal computers and smartphones. Our core math recognition technology is applicable to many unsolved problems. Anywhere a customer needs to improve some output with several inputs and the true relationship remains a mystery. From cheaper energy by finding the best mix of ingredients to improve the power and lifetime of batteries. To finding the best diet and drugs to prevent heart attacks and strokes, to live longer. We can analyze your data to see if the math recognition can find a good formula for you to find the best mix of expenditures to increase sales, cut costs, or both. If you want to increase your sales, contact me at ceo@mathematical-software.com to arrange a free evaluation of your anonymized data. To tell if we can increase your sales using our math recognition AI. We will only ask for money if we find we can help you. CEO@mathematical-software.com. Give us a buzz.